Konbanwa, dear listeners, and welcome back to Supernatural Japan, the podcast where history and hauntings intertwine. I'm Kevin O'Shea, and tonight we venture into the snow-covered peaks of Aomori Prefecture, to the infamous Hakkōda Mountains, where one of Japan's greatest military tragedies occurred. But even after more than a century, whispers in the wind and shadows in the frost suggest that the souls lost and that fateful expedition may never have truly left. Now let's start off by getting to know Aomori Prefecture a little more. Aomori Prefecture, located in the northernmost region of Japan's Honshu Island, is known for its rugged natural beauty, heavy snowfall, and rich cultural heritage. The region is dominated by majestic mountain ranges, including the Hakkōda Mountains, which are famous for their harsh winters and eerie folklore. These mountains, along with the Shirakami Sanchi, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offer breathtaking landscapes of dense forests, alpine lakes, and volcanic terrain. Aomori's cold climate shapes its identity, from its famous apple orchards to the mystical snow monsters Juhyo, formed by frost-covered trees. The prefecture's mountainous terrain makes it a haven for hikers, skiers, and adventure seekers, while its deep history and ghostly legends continue to intrigue visitors. So let's discuss the journey into the White Abyss. It was January 23rd, 1902. 210 soldiers of the Imperial Japanese Army's 5th Infantry Regiment set out from Hirosaki, tasked with a winter training march through the Hakkōda Mountains. Their mission? To test their endurance in extreme cold and preparation for the looming conflict with Russia. But what awaited them was not training. It was a death march into the heart of an unforgiving White Abyss. The mountains, known for their fierce blizzards, swallowed them whole. Temperatures plummeted to minus 41 Celsius or minus 42 Fahrenheit. Snowdrifts piled high and visibility vanished. Disoriented and exhausted, the soldiers wandered in circles, trapped in nature's icy grip. Witnesses who discovered their frozen bodies days later described a scene out of a horror and a nightmare. Some soldiers stood frozen mid-stride, as if still marching forward. Others were found huddled together, their faces twisted in terror. Of the 210 men, only 11 survived. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn. The ghosts of Hakkōda. For over 100 years, locals and travelers have reported chilling encounters in the Hakkōda Mountains. Some say that on stormy nights, ghostly figures can be seen marching in single file, barely visible through the snowfall. Their faces are hidden beneath icy helmets, their eyes hollow, devoid of life. Skiers and hikers speak of hearing phantom footsteps crunching in the snow, following them. But when they turn, there's nothing there. Some have even claimed to feel the cold grip on their shoulder, only to spin around and find emptiness. In one eerie tale, a group of climbers taking shelter in a cabin awoke to find strange frost patterns on the windows, shaped like hands and faces pressed against the glass. No footprints were found outside. And then there are the whispers. Whispers. Voices carried on the wind, murmuring in old-fashioned Japanese, repeating the same phrase. Doko da? Doko da? Where? Where? Are they lost souls still searching for their way home? Or are they warning the living not to follow in their doomed path? Some believe the Hakkōda Mountains were cursed long before the soldiers arrived. Ancient Ainu legends speak of Yuki-onna, the snow woman spirit, who lures travelers into blizzards, never to be seen again. Others claim the mountain is a burial ground for warriors long forgotten, the restless spirits condemning any who disturb them. Even the survivors of the 1902 disaster weren't free from the mountain's grasp. Many suffered hallucinations, nightmares, and mysterious illnesses for years after their return. It was as if the cold itself had seeped into their bones, refusing to let them go. To be honest, those survivors probably suffered from PTSD, but those who want the story to seem more terrifying put the blame on the paranormal. Now, the aftermath and the legacy of this tragic incident. The disaster exposed the Army's lack of preparation for extreme winter conditions, leading to better cold weather training and equipment. And a monument stands at the site today honoring the fallen soldiers. The story was later adapted into the famous 1977 Japanese film Mount Hakkōda, which dramatized the tragic event. A warning to travelers. Today, the Hakkōda Mountains remain a popular destination for skiing, hiking, and adventure. But every so often, a traveler goes missing, only for their frozen body to be found days later, eerily reminiscent of the ill-fated soldiers. If you ever visit, heed the warnings. Never travel alone. If you hear voices on the wind, ignore them. And if you see shadowy figures marching through the snow, do not follow. The Lost Regiment of Hakkōda still marches, and they are always looking for new recruits. Well, that's all for tonight's episode of Supernatural Japan. If you enjoyed this chilling tale, be sure to follow us for more legends from the land of the rising sun. Make sure to rate the Supernatural Japan podcast and leave a review wherever you listen to us. The episodes are also available on the Busan Kevin YouTube channel. And if you have your own supernatural experiences in Japan or anywhere else in the world, send them to supernaturaljapan@gmail.com. We may just share your story in a future episode. Of course, follow the podcast over on Instagram at Supernatural Japan. Thank you to all of the fantastic people who've already come on over and followed. Again, I post a lot of photos, a lot of content about the podcast over on Instagram. You can follow me, Kevin, the host, on Blue Sky and X at Mad for Maple. Again, you can always email the podcast at supernaturaljapan@gmail.com. And of course, we have a Facebook page. The links for all of these will be in the show notes just below wherever you listen to the podcast. Remember, you can help our podcast grow by spreading the word of the Supernatural Japan podcast. Hey, we'd really appreciate it. Now, until next time, stay warm, stay safe, and whatever you do, don't look back.